Good morning, environmental design students. We are starting week 6, back to level 4, so yay. So happy to see everybody. It's going to be great. Missing you guys that are at home face to face, but hopefully I'll get to meet you sometime, maybe some seniors at graduation. We'll see. Now, this week we're going to start looking at kitchens, and it can be a little bit tedious, so I just want you to give it a good go, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, just try really hard. See what you can do with it. We only have this week because we need to do a restaurant next week or like a coffee shop, and then you have your final. I'm gonna give you 2 weeks to do your final, so not a lot of time in there. So we're just gonna cover this briefly. Now, because I am who I am, I like to give you a lot of resources, and I wish that we had more time to do this because kitchens, you can be just a kitchen designer and you can make a lot of money just designing kitchens because kitchens give you a really good return. So if somebody's going to flip a house, they're always going to do the kitchen and bathrooms up nice. That's where they're going to put the money. And so you can get really detailed with everything in the kitchens, but we just can't. And remember, I'm learning this with you as well. And so as I was playing around with it, I said, ooh, this is tedious. And so you might find it that way as well. But, just be brave, give it a go, okay? So let me scoot down here. You won't see all that because it doesn't show. All right, let's look. Okay, so I'm creating this right now, and it'll go right here. So hopefully you're watching it. Now I put in some important resources. This is... Normally, you might actually create this portfolio, but we don't really have time for that. So I'm not going to make you do it. So let's take a look at this. Now, just for fun, see how that pretty background right there? I found a photograph and I put it in. This is really lovely, okay? So when you're making your presentations, try to make the backgrounds look nice and the fonts match. And I put a little block there. You can see the yellow rectangle. That's that transparent box thing that I've been trying to get you to do. If I just put those white letters on top of that tile, you'd never be able to see it. But there you go, just some finer points. Okay, as we go through here, you're going to find the different types of kitchens, and I do ask you in your assignment which type of kitchen did you create, so just make sure you understand how to do that. Honestly, one-wall kitchens are dreadful. They're usually only if you don't have much space because everything's all in a line and you have to run back and forth. So they're not too good, but sometimes they're necessary based on the footage that you've got. Okay, so we have a one-wall kitchen, corridor kitchens. Not the ideal space, but a lot of houses have these, older houses especially, where you just have, can also be called a galley kitchen, just have two things on each side. This can be a problem with people walking through. Corridor again, it's cute, little door out to the back. I mean, it works. L-shaped kitchen. L-shaped kitchens are good, and they really lend themselves, if you can, to an island right here. There's something called a work triangle that we're going to look at. See these three major things: the sink, the range, and the refrigerator. They form a triangle, and there's certain spaces. This is a little bit tight right here. This is not good. This should have more space. This should have at least 24 inches on each side of that. So that is not good right there, but this is okay. So we can talk about it in a minute, but on each side of the sink, you need to put dirty, you need to put clean. For cooking, you need to have the ingredients for each side. So we should have, if we had another 24 there and then 18 on that side, or at least 3 feet right here, because you also need space on this side of the refrigerator to put things. So if you're cooking and you need to put something from the refrigerator, that would not work. So I would give, if you designed this, I would give you a lower grade. Now, based on we don't have a lot of time, I'm going to be really easy with you. I might mention it, but I won't take off too many points if you do something like that. So not to worry. All right, so let's go to the next one. U-shaped kitchens are the dream kitchens. You can stand in the middle and you can move around, and barely take any steps, and you're able to reach everything perfectly. So U-shaped kitchen is the most efficient kitchen, and many times they will make them wider and put a island in here like this. Yeah, so this is a wonderful kitchen, lots of space. Now, kitchens need to be an efficient space. The spacing in kitchens needs to be efficient. You don't want a 30 by 30 kitchen where you have to run 10 feet to the refrigerator. I don't even see the refrigerator. It must be over here. Oh, it's supposed to go right there. You need to be able, this is actually quite far from here to here, not as efficient as it might be. So there are spacings, and I've got that in another thing. Okay, island kitchen or kitchen island. This is quite nice. They've got a sink right here, so you can reach it from all the areas. This is the major sink, but there's a little sink in the island which works perfect in case you need to get water. You don't have to, if you needed water here, you'd have to run all the way over here and all the way over here and all the way back. But in this case, they have a little bit of cleanup sink, they call it, but you can get water from there. All right, so island kitchen. And then here's the work triangle that I was talking about. From the three major areas, from the refrigerator area to the sink area to the range. And the shouldn't be any less than 13 feet and no more than 22 feet, according to this picture. But no leg of the triangle should be less than 4 feet. So one of these should not be 4 feet, no more less than 4 rather, and no more than 9. And the sum of the triangle should be between 13 and here they say 22, but here we're given 26. So what you would do is measure, if you were doing this very seriously, you would measure this and add them all up. And if you're too short, too small, you'll know, oh, don't have enough room here. So that's just kind of a way to help you. And this is kind of fun. Whoops, this is a great article on different types of sinks. 12 different ones. These are farmhouse, undermount, stainless steel, bar sink, corner. Anyway, it goes on and on. And here's just a couple pictures. Yeah, people love these farmhouse sinks. That's a really, it has that apron right here that sticks over it. That's really trendy right now. Let's see, where do we go? Types of sinks. And then appliances. You can spend so much money. Like this refrigerator right here is $3,000 to $4,000. This is probably $3,000. This is definitely $3,000. This is $2,500. This could be $2,000. So you're spending easily 10, 15,000 on just these major appliances, and you don't even have a hood yet, and they've got a million kinds of hoods. So kitchens are very expensive. Not 30, like 60, 70, $80,000 is not unusual for a kitchen remodel. So it's a lot, depending on the quality of cabinets and so forth. And then these are just some fun things. You can get a trash compactor. I'm not sure I recommend that. If you use a trash compactor, you should only do recycling, no food in it, because they get smelly because you leave it there longer. But they're cool. Built-in wine coolers are nice. If you don't drink wine, you can put water, which works, water or soda, and the kids can just get it out of there. Or you can be bougie and put wine in it. Built-in Lazy Susans are always really nice to turn those corners in a kitchen, and you put these in and this spins around so you don't have that dead space in the back of your cabinet. And this is really fancy. This would push in here and you'd have more storage underneath, but for spices and things like that, that would be great. I would like that very much. This is a little range top, so it has very little anything underneath it, so they're just using that space. And this is so cool. I'd want one. This is a little hydraulic appliance garage, so you can put all your stuff in there and hide it and just keep your counters clean and beautiful. So those are just a minimal. Look at this little mini sink over here. This is nice. It's not even part of the regular kitchen. This would be, see how the wine glasses are there? If you're entertaining, darling, you've got your wine cooler there, and then you can mix or wash or, have your wine out here, whatever you want to do when you have your friends over. All right, so that's just kind of fun. So there's that. And then what I did there's a quick information sheet that I would have printed and handed out to you. And this talks about the preparation centers, refrigerator mix, sink, range, serving. Those are just all the areas. And here are the dimensions I was talking about. These are the types of kitchens. And base cabinets, you know what, we're not going to really worry about that right now. And again, these are little pictures of the space. If you want to do it right, like your sink, you need 24, 36 inches. Here's what I was talking about. Your range top, 24, 24. Your oven, you need at least 18. Where'd the refrigerator go? Yeah, at least 18. On your refrigerator, you could combine these areas if you needed to. There you go. And here's the different, you may need to look at this. So if you're going to make an L-shaped kitchen, the actual kitchen counters would be 11, or cabinets would be 11 by 15, but your room could be bigger. You may want to add a space here, go longer, add some counter. So your room doesn't have to be 15 by 11, but the counter spaces. 10 by 10 is a good U shape, but it certainly can be bigger depending on what you add, but that's about the minimum right there. So that's just something for you to look at. And again, here's some shapes, some ideas if you wanted to use these ideas. This is kind of cool. I don't know if Homestyler has that. Could probably figure something out. And then this is, I just isolated those two sheets, okay, for you to look at if you want to know that. Just read it so that you know. I'm not going to hold you steadfastly to that, but just, look at it. And here, this lady, she's kind of funny. Top 6 kitchen trends, if you want to, just for fun, if you want to look at that, okay? So that's important. All right, then the next thing is the assignment. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay. This looks really similar to what we've been doing. So what I want you to do is just design a well-planned kitchen for a family of 4. You can choose the size and shape of the kitchen. As I say, it can be kind of tedious and challenging to get this perfect. I'm not looking for perfection. I just want you to give me a good effort. Try to meet those recommended standards, or actually meet the recommended standards for the kitchen layouts. Don't do like a 30-foot kitchen. You need to use your common sense, and it needs to look good. Well designed. Include all the appropriate appliances you need: the sink, the range, the refrigerator, dishwasher, so forth. And obviously don't put the dishwasher away from the sink. They need to be there together. You need to have some kind of dining needs for family of 4, counter space for the kids if you want to put that in, and then throw in a few extras. And then share the file with me and do the insert screenshots, this time a little bit different. Give me the floor plan view, and then I want a picture of each one of the walls. You can do either 3D or Rome, whichever you like better. If you have more than 4 walls, you can put all those screenshots in there. I do want you to render. You pick 2 screenshots that you want to render, put those in, and then you just put them right in there together. And then just what shape kitchen did you create? I just want you to know the shapes and which one did you create. And then if you want to render your kitchen, you're really proud of it, looks great, panorama view. I didn't put in here that you need to do the flooring and the walls to make it look nice, obviously. So do a good job with that, okay? So that is all for this little screenshot. And then what I'll do in the next one is I'll actually go through and show you how to do that with Homestyler, okay? Have a lovely day.